We've been looking at 10 common elements that help us to understand a little bit of Jesus and what he came to do during these weeks of Lent. We've looked at dust and bread, cross, coins, shoes, oil. Today, coats. You know, many schools have dress codes. Here in Canada, they tend to be private schools or some Catholic schools. But in many places around the world, it's standard to have a school uniform. And sometimes that becomes a real restriction on kids going to school because it costs money to buy the fabric to make the uniform. It wasn't that many years ago that uniforms were a common part of life. And there's still some jobs where people wear uniforms. You know, think of mechanics' overalls and nurses' scrubs, doctors' white coats, police officers, firefighters, chefs, those who are working in a fast food chain, the military, pilots, flight attendants. In Exodus 28, instructions were given about making some garments, coats for the priest. It says in verse 3 of Exodus 28, "Tell all the skilled workers to whom I have given wisdom in such matters that they are to make garments for Aaron, for his consecration, so he may serve me as priest. These are the garments they are to make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. They're to make these sacred garments for your brother Aaron and his sons, so they may serve me as priests. Have them use gold and blue, purple and scarlet yarn, and fine linen." You know, in our church, we tend to dress casual. When I first began pastoring, the district superintendent tried to encourage pastors to wear ties all of the time. He even wore a tie when he was cutting the grass. Janice and I used to go to some camp meetings in the summer, and people would dress up for these services. And I would get in a bit of trouble because Janice and I would show up on a hot Sunday afternoon after preaching in the morning and driving for an hour and a half to get there. And I would have changed into a golf shirt and shorts. I guess they forgave me since I went on to serve on the camps board for a number of years. But I did have a clerical collar that I would wear when I visited in prison. It was one of the best ways to get access. But some of these things, uniforms and name tags and badges and clerical collars, signify to the world something of our role and purpose. That's what these verses in Exodus 28 were all about: excellence and royal colors. In Ethiopia, I often saw Orthodox priests, and they would wear these amazing robes. It made them stand out and be recognized. But I'm not sure it made them more accessible. So as we wrap up this, what are ritual coats? Those outer characteristics that demonstrate to the world that we're followers of Jesus. How will people know when they see us that Jesus is our Lord and our teacher? And then, why do you think that we prefer a symbol of our faith, a cross or a fish, to living out a transformed character, demonstrating the fruit of the Spirit?